Texas fans, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear none of that. Well, Archie ain't. No, I don't want to hear none of that shit because the last couple times y'all beat us, the last like 3 years, it's been with Oklahoma's backup quarterback. So whatever your fucking excuse, the last 2 to 3 years that y'all beat us, it's been with a backup QB. So whatever your excuses are, save it. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it.
Bitch.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's been a minute, but we thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. As always, I'm Tim. That's my dog, my brother, my co-creator and co-host, Ryan, aka Frank Dank. How you doing this lovely Wednesday evening, bro?
Breathe.
I feel that. I
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah. I mean, life and, being an adult, you don't have as
Just,
much free time as you once had or would like. So, you gotta make best of the time that you do have, sir. So, ready to get this shit started and
yes,
good to
sir.
see you, fucker.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. It's good to be back. Shit, I know, like I said, I know it's been a minute, y'all, but hey, life happens. We're adults. We have things going on in our personal lives that we had to tend to. But we always stay in the loop of football, which always brings us back here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, man. So let's not waste no time, bro. Let's go ahead and jump off into it. We've had a good 3 weeks of a lot of football to digest and break down, but we're gonna start with the biggest story. What in the world is going on with Archibald Manning? First 3 games, Ohio State 17-30 for 170 yards, a touchdown to interception. San Jose State 19-30, 295 yards, 4 TDs, one interception. He looked like himself that game. And then this past weekend, played against UTEP, 11-25 for 114 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. And I just what he's not looking like the Arch Manning that we expected him to look like, and all these analysts and these journalists were dubbed him the high already does dubbing him the Heisman favorite and all that. But what are you making of it?
Look, I mean, everybody got caught up in the game last year against Mississippi State, which turned out to be the worst team in the SEC, which I don't think they recorded one SEC win. I think they only had one win on the season last year. So they want to equate it to that, and other times Arch got in just judging out the potential. But let's just pump the brakes here. If you ask me personally, from what I see, I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt, and it's an injury he can play through. So they're not gonna specify on it to add more more chaos to the tire fire that's already going on over there in Austin. But you asked me, he's hurt, and let's remember Peyton Manning didn't have a great, I think, sophomore year, sophomore or junior year had a better senior or junior year. So I mean, and then the most interesting thing that I read before the season started is he said he was going to definitely come back the next year, which that struck me. So it's not about playing in the NFL. I mean, like if anybody's paying attention to this Archie Manning thing, he's been a Texas fan his whole life.
Yeah.
So all he ever wanted to do was play for Texas. So this is a dream of his. He finally has the keys, and I think he's going to figure it out just after Red River.
Hopefully it's like that. I mean, he could possibly be hurt, but I think he's having a hard time getting adjusted to the speed of the game and being a full-time starter, doing this week in and week out. The Ohio State game, I kind of gave him a little bit of a pass because I mean, you playing in a hostile environment against the defending national champions. They had a bunch of, I'm not gonna say a bunch, but they had a few starters returning on defense. So I kind of get that, but after what he looked like in the last game, I mean, these errant throws, he's missing wide open receivers. Some of the balls are hitting at their feet. They're not making it to him in time. It's just his he has one more week to showcase that he is the guy that everybody is expecting him to be. Because after next, I mean, he has Sam Houston this weekend.
In
After this
Florida,
week, yeah,
or
it's Florida next, and then Oklahoma, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Georgia's like, okay, you've
if
had this is now 3 weeks. You better get on. If you're Archie, you need to figure you're on a fast train to the going downhill, buddy. Like I said, you're not playing in whatever division you were playing in Louisiana no more. This is Division One SEC football. Okay, so all the hiccups and mistakes for your sake. I hope you got them out the way now because after this weekend starts getting serious.
and I think at one point, um, in the game last week, he only completed 10 passes, or he had 10 incompletions in a row.
Yes,
He started getting booed at home. I was like, oh fuck, like what's
against
going
UTEP,
on
against
against
UTEP.
against UTEP? So I'm trying to look ahead a bit, and like if he can't beat Texas, I mean if
He
he
can't
can't
lose.
beat Florida, if he can't beat Florida,
The rest of the season ain't looking too good.
hey man, like like after the Ohio State game, they stacked up a whole bunch of winnable games. So by the time they got to SEC play, they could be about 4-1 or 5-0. So I see what they're doing. I love that Sarkeesian is behind his quarterback. I like it that he's protecting his guy, and that he's defending them. But an interesting choice of words.
Yeah, very interesting. Very
but,
interesting.
but I mean, I understand that's my guy. I'm riding with him. So it's just gonna be really nice to see this Red River game
Yeah, yeah.
this year, especially if Oklahoma can handle business
Like we
against
think they
Auburn. Yeah, no,
can.
like we think that. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. I did see some things um from the Auburn defense I like, and I did see some things from the Auburn defense I feel like we can take advantage of. My early prediction for the OU Auburn game is OU finds their running game, which opens up the passing game, which might open up to some things that we've been wanting to see since the beginning of the season. But OU off to a good start, 3-0. They beat Michigan against a very talented Bryce Underwood. We're gonna have to go into Ann Arbor next year, play them in front of 100,000. And honestly, if it goes how I think it's gonna go, we'll be having another new quarterback taking the helm. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes down, how that happens.
Speaking of Oklahoma, I mean Oklahoma, we started off 3-0. We haven't given up more than 20. We haven't given up more than 20 points so far this first 3 games of the season.
It's at 8 points. It's probably
Yeah.
lower than that now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most we've given up rushing wise, we've given up 146 yards in the Michigan game, but it was also I think they had that one big 75-yard run, which helped them get which really helped them or whatever. But John Mateers looked really he's looked pretty decent his first 3 games of the season. 30 of 37, 392 yards, 3 touchdowns versus Illinois State. 74 rushing yards, 270 yards, 270 passing yards, and a touchdown versus Michigan, and 63 yards and 282 yards against and a touchdown against Temple. Ryan, what are you making of Oklahoma as a whole? This far through the first 3 games of the season.
Them being able to really up front defensively, the front seven up front, being able to dominate Michigan the way they did, and what it's the Big Ten football, it's a real physical brand of football. It kind of gave us perspective of what's to may become in the season. So with that being said, it's gonna be extremely nice to see what we can do in our first game of SEC competition. With the upperclassmen we have up front, with a bunch of juniors and seniors, how hungry and angry and focused they are to make a point in the SEC. I feel like Oklahoma has a great chance, especially playing against the quarterback that they played with
Yes.
last year, so they know his tendencies, what he wants to do, and things like that. And honestly, what's been going on at Auburn is, yeah, they've been winning games, and yeah, Jackson Arnold has thrown for 500 yards in 3 games, but they've been getting it done running, primarily off his running with the help from the running backs. So they know his tendencies. So I don't really think if they beat us, it's going to be because of his arms, and it's going to be because of his legs and what the running backs do. So if we can neutralize that, we can pretty much do what we want. I mean, against them, but Auburn does have a nice front seven. They do. They do. And they do have some playmakers on the outside at wide receiver. So if they can ever get the ball in stride, yeah, they can do some damage. Pay 2 wide receivers $1 million.
Yeah, Cam Coleman and I forgot what's the other guy. I forgot who the other guy's name was.
Yeah.
Oklahoma as a whole, I really love what I'm seeing out of the defense. They on the ball, quick to the ball, you're firing off the ball, they are hitting. This is probably the best defense I've seen out of Oklahoma in quite some time.
Since the last time Brent was there, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
As far as the offense goes, we got a bunch of different weapons that we can go to on the offense. I mean, we got 3 good. It seems like we've really found a good rotation with the running backs. Really like Torrey Blaylock. He's dead. I think he's. I'm starting to think he's cemented himself as the RB1 in this offense. Really like I really like what I've seen out of Mateer. There's still a couple things that I don't like that I hope he can kind of tweak as we go into SEC play. But as far as like his grit, his toughness, and his playmaking ability compared to what we saw last season, yeah, it's 100 times better. I mean, as an Oklahoma fan, I think I'm a little more confident in where we at this point in the season, where compared to last point in the season, I'm a little more confident going into SEC play, especially with us going into Auburn and us our first Auburn, especially with Auburn coming to Oklahoma and us going into our first game of SEC play. Yeah, I'm a little more confident at this point in the season than I was last year.
Yeah, from the offense and defensive side, I feel like they both have an identity. We gotta clean up some shit on special teams.
Yeah.
And really I feel like the running game up until this point has been running back by committee. So once we figure out who's gonna be our guy, we can go from there. But right now, I mean, honestly, the most shocking thing for me is not seeing Jaden Ott. Well, he hurt his shoulder. So right before the season started. So that sucks. That really sucks. But next man up. And for all the OU fans, we need to take it one game, one play, 1 quarter at a time.
Let's not get too. I mean, the first 3 weeks have gone really well. Let's not start looking too far in the future, just because you're gonna build yourself up to get disappointed. Not saying that not saying that I want that to happen, but let's not think about December and November right now. Let's think about the next week, the next opponent, next quarterback, all that good stuff.
I can tell you what's in the back of their minds is the Texas game. It's right there. Mm-hmm. It is right there. So let's not worry about Texas. Let's worry about Auburn. Yep. Let's get Auburn. Then after that, let's get Kent State. Then we got Texas.
Yeah. Let's just see how this Auburn game goes before we get talking about anything else a little further in the future. That's going the Auburn game is going. I'm not even the Auburn game. I think that's gonna tell us some shit. Yeah. Moving on to one of the next big topics. Carson Beck looks like he's picked up right where he left off when he was at Georgia. He is 3-0. His first 3 starts at Miami. Through 3 games, 812 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. What do you think of how do you feel about the way Carson Beck has looked with fitting right in with Miami?
I mean, he's lived up to the bill right now. He's up there with John Mateer actually in the first Heisman opening votes or predictions. It's neck and neck between Carson Beck and John Mateer. They had a big win against Notre Dame. They handle business. He's accurate. Not too many incompletions. He sees the field better. I mean, this might almost be a case of right now in the NFL with Daniel Jones, how he's looking in Indianapolis. We found out all he needed was an offensive line to get out of New York. That's all he needed.
Probably.
I mean, to answer any quarterback's question, yes. Give me an offensive line to at least two people I can throw the ball to.
Yeah,
I'll figure out the rest. But yeah, Carson Beck is looking great. They demolished a South Florida team who the week before demolished a Florida team who we found out last week wasn't really
they're
all that good. Um, if you throw five interceptions and four of them to the safeties, it lets me know you can't read defenses.
yeah, yeah.
So,
You don't know how to look them off.
yeah, you don't know how to, what when the middle is open and when the outside is open. You don't know.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say all that's on coaching because you got to this point off knowing that. It's
Yeah.
just I felt like a lot of those throws were desperation throws, which caused those interceptions. But to go back to the main topic, Carson Beck is looking great. And I mean to tie up the Florida point I was trying to make, they're play them very soon as well. I think on the same week as OU plays Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So it's looking like Miami's gonna whoop their ass at home. It used to be Coral Gables, now it's Hard Rock.
Piggybacking off what you said, I think Carson Beck he's made a very smooth transition into the Miami offense. He has plenty of weapons to throw to. Personally, I think this offense may fit him a little bit better than Georgia's offense does. I mean, it's a more pass heavy offense. He got plenty of he has plenty of guys to throw to. I also don't think that and this is not a knock on any of the ACC schools because some of these schools have actually shown some grit and toughness. The first three games of this season and last season, but I don't think he's seeing the same caliber of defenses that he was seeing in the SEC. And, he's able to, whatever he was able to, learn and do in the whatever he was able to learn and how he was able to read defenses in the SEC, he just brought it with him down to Miami. And I mean, as you can, it's showing, man. It's showing. He's looked really good. He's looked really accurate. He's had, he has a plethora of weapons to throw to. I mean, it's a pick your poison type of offense. And
Hmm.
Miami's defense has been fairly stout, especially that first game against Notre Dame. But as me and you both know, Miami hasn't had a bowl or a playoff win or any of that shit in quite some time. So all the shit that you're doing in the regular season, let's just hope it carries over into the postseason.
I just feel like Mario Cristobal is finally in a situation to where he is with a fan base that's bought in to the process. Partially that's because he played there
Yeah.
and won a national. He was part of the last national championship team there, and he's had success being an assistant and head coaches at places like Alabama and Oregon.
Right, right.
So yeah, and then I mean, when's the last time Miami had a good season last year, 2020, 2017. So
Yeah.
it's not like a whole bunch of good seasons are consistently happening. And that's because they finally found a head coach that has changed the culture, that has weaved out the players that don't want to be there, don't want to be disciplined, they want to do their own thing. Got all that out the way. Now he has a legit football team. So one game, 1 week at a time. Right now, the team to beat in the ACC that's not named Miami is looking like either Georgia Tech or Florida
Florida
State.
State. Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be an interesting game. Those two teams play. I feel like the winner of that game pretty much has control of the ACC, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's very good to see Miami, Florida State, and Oklahoma doing pretty good right now
Mm-hmm.
in the season. The football season is better. College football is better when these teams are good, along with LSU and others. So, with that being said, I'm just very excited for the rest of this season to
Yes, I am.
unfold.
Me and you
Yeah,
both, especially when we start getting into conference play.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, wait, one more one next this
yeah,
this week, baby, this week.
yeah.
So the last topic, which is, I mean, I don't know how this has gotten swept under the rug and it's not getting talked about. But before we switch over to the NFL, we got to discuss Mr. Nico Amaliava. For those of y'all that haven't been familiar, Nico was the starting quarterback at Tennessee, who was wanting a $10 million NIL deal, and Josh Heupel in Tennessee just finally said, "We're not gonna fucking deal with this
Get
shit."
the fuck.
They washed their hands with Nico, and they dismissed him from the program. He ended up signing with UCLA. I don't know how much. We don't know how much of. We don't know what his NIL deal was, but regardless of all that,
I gave him the money he wanted for the year.
Nico has not gotten off to a great start. He is 0-3 at UCLA. His first 3 games, a 43-10 loss to Utah, 30-23 loss to UNLV, and a 35-10 loss to New Mexico. Ryan, you go ahead. You take this situation first. What are you making of this whole situation with Nico and his transfer to UCLA?
When you can't beat Mountain West teams, and you're supposed to be a Division I Power 4 school, things like the head coach getting fired, which happens. And Nico was, he's from LA, so he was homesick, obviously, I feel like, and he wanted his money. You know what I'm saying? He don't know if he's gonna have an NFL career, but like this is really gonna hurt him because what's gonna happen is he's gonna get back in the transfer portal. He's gonna take less money than he did the last two opportunities he's had, and then hopefully he finds a home where he can play football and win games and be successful. But it's looking like okay, we're not a good football team. Y'all don't want to pay me right now, so I'm just gonna leave. And NFL execs look at that. It's like,
Yeah.
are you gonna quit on your team so you can get released and hopefully picked up somewhere else, or you want to get traded, or whatever the position may be of the team. It's not that's not football, bro. It's not where's the integrity? Where's the respect of the game at a certain point? Like, what are you doing? But I mean. You overthrowing wide. There were some throws in that Utah game where he just overthrew them. They are
Plain
wide.
and simple,
If
wide
he
open.
throws the ball to him, they're running. They're running, and then score have been a lot closer than that. But credit to Utah, they look like they got a quarterback down there too. Finally moved on from the Cam
Utah, I
Rising
don't know
situation.
what is it with Utah? Like for the last like 5-6 years, Utah has had like they've been consistently decent. They've had somewhat of a decent quarterback playing. And Utah kind of they I'm not gonna say they got it figured out, but they got them a nice little system going.
They have a head coach that runs a system that requires a certain kind of quarterback, and he knows how to recruit that quarterback. Similar to Lincoln Riley, he knows what kind of quarterback he needs to run his system.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I honestly don't be surprised if Utah is in the Big 12 championship game if the quarterback play stays the way it's been and the people remain healthy. Don't be surprised.
Yep. Going back to the Nico situation, I think this is what happens when you try to overvalue yourself. I mean, you were asking, I think, for $10 million, and you wanted to get paid. You wanted a better NIL deal than Carson Beck, and it's like, dude, we said this in the offseason. You are not in the Heisman race. You didn't even throw for over 3,000 yards. So what you're asking for is a little. You haven't proven to have earned that much.
Mm-hmm.
So you putting yourself on this side of a pedestal, and then for you to go to another school that the school hasn't really done much the school hasn't really done much the last few years. So for you to go down there and drop a goose egg with the first 3 weeks of the season, it's not looking good for you. What's going to happen is, like you said, he's probably going to end up. I kind of see this playing out kind of like how the DJ Uiagalelei situation played out. Like, we kept saying he needed another year, and his final year got here, and we still felt he was nowhere near where he needed to be. It's like, it's just from last season, Nico really benefited from, Dylan Sampson and Tennessee's run game being decent and, them having somewhat of a defense. UCLA doesn't have that. So your your flaws cannot be disguised.
Mm-hmm.
Your weaknesses are getting exploited and getting put on the biggest stage. So if you, Nico, you got to figure this thing out, man. This is a situation that you asked for, that you put yourself in. So now you got to figure out how to get out of it.
It was the money. I honestly, when he made that move, I'm like, yeah, he don't even give a fuck about football. He know he's good enough to ball out at this level. I think it kind of feels like he's trying to just make the most money he can now,
just like everybody else.
And then now he can transfer again because the coaches got fired.
Yeah,
and he can sit out and redshirt because the coaches got fired.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Like I said, this is not a Nico Amaliava bashing video, but we're just speaking on what we see here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and transition over to the NFL, and we got to discuss one of what was supposed to be or getting brought to be America's team, the Kansas City Chiefs, starting off 0-2, 27-21 loss to the Chargers start the season. This past weekend, a 22-17 loss to the Eagles. The Chiefs also went 0-3 in preseason, so pretty much they, if you want to count preseason, they've lost 6 games in a row, including the Super Bowl. But if we're just talking regular season and meaningful football, the Chiefs have lost their last 3 games. Ryan, I want you to dive off in the situation. I want you to take this situation and tell me what you think about it, and what's your analysis of the whole thing.
Just the first game, the offensive line couldn't block worth shit. The defense couldn't stop anything. The second game, okay, let's go back to the Super Bowl. You got blown out like 40-22, right? And then you only lost 17-20. So you just held the defending champions to half of the points they scored last time you played them, and you only lost by 3. And you just wasn't disciplined with the football. There's certain breaks like that interception at the goal line with Kels. That's what like shook the whole momentum. And then people dropping the ball. This is like the this is like the third year in a row where we're having problems with people catching the ball.
Yeah.
Like Andy wants to get all this speed, and that's cool, but like, let's get some people that got some sure hands that can catch the fucking ball that we can trust.
Right.
Wasted a lot of draft picks on trades and a lot of people that didn't pan out to do shit. Then all of a sudden, DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Ravens, and he looks like DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. Hey, God, where the fuck this been?
It's the scheme. They figured out Andy's scheme, I feel like, and the offensive line play is questionable. You don't want your franchise. This is the third year in a row we've seen Mahomes run around like he's Michael Vick or something.
Yeah, he's
That's
currently
not
the lead. He's currently the leading rusher on the team.
that's not good. I mean, like that's how it was before OU played Temple. I think it's still like that because he had that 50-yard run plus that. I think it's still like that. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. Like you don't want to put your quarterback in harm's way. You want your quarterback to run when the play is breaking down and everybody's downfield. He can go get you 15, 20 yards, slide first down. That's what you want. Or should we be panicking about the Chiefs right now? No. Worst case scenario, after 4 games, 1-3, 2-2. Um, that's how I'm looking at it right now. Chiefs always get off to start. It's just a lot more fucked up than usual. So I mean, I just think this is a personnel kind of situation. You got Rice that's suspended. You got Worthy that's hurt. So now you're force feeding Hollywood, which I mean he doesn't have the best history of staying healthy. You got Travis Kelce in the twilight of his career. I'm not I'm not gonna go too far in this, but boy, oh boy, and he was miserable. He played so good.
Yeah.
It's like your favorite artist once they get in love with their music, it's just like
Man.
nah. But it's just 2 games. I'm not worried about it. Let's get on to the Giants.
I mean, I'm piggybacking off of what you said. I think it's just you got inconsistent O-line play. I mean, everybody's now the NFL has. I'm pretty sure they've seen it with Jawan Taylor, but he's definitely getting called out for his fucking bullshit ass often getting off to early starts. I think he got called for 3 of them in the first game against the Chargers. Mahomes really does not trust any of these wide receivers, especially Worthy going down in the first game of the season. That hurt. Especially with Rashee Rice is not going to be back until at least week 6. So, there's a little bit of, there's a little bit of trust issues with this wide receiver core. I did see some flashes from Kelce the last game to where he's looking like the old Kelce. But like I mentioned before, when Pat Mahomes is your leading rusher, that is a problem. You can't get the running game going. Pacheco is not, I don't know what's going on with Pacheco. Kareem Hunt, he's doing the best he can, but it starts with the offensive line. This offensive line play is extremely inconsistent. And I mean, the game with the Eagles, this is more about what the Chiefs didn't do as opposed to what the Eagles did do, because the Eagles didn't really do much. They had 216 yards of offense. Had the Chiefs been able to score another touchdown, or maybe even be able to, or if Butker would have made that field goal, I mean, maybe you would have made this a closer game. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's not. The defense
Went
is
to overtime.
yeah. I mean, the defense is doing the best that they can, but offense just can't put up points. I mean, you do have the Giants coming in this. You do have the Giants coming in this Sunday. You have to get you. This is a must-win game.
That's a talented team.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
And
yes,
you got
we saw
and
that
you
this
got a
last game.
quarterback. And you got a quarterback that's, hey, I ain't never gave up on you, dog.
Right.
And you got a quarterback that's looking like the nigga I thought he was.
Yep.
So, bro, you cannot get out the 0-3. I got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions. You start off 0-3.
I mean, like it's you got the Giants coming in, so this is a must week. But right after that, after the Giants, and they got the Ravens, and they got the Jags, and they got the Lions, the Raiders, the Commanders, and then the Bills. So this, like I said, this is not a game you want to drop. But I mean, this brings me to my next question. I mean, so if the Chiefs, with the problems on the offense, if the Chiefs do start 0-3, do you think it's time to make a trade for a wide receiver?
If they start the 0-3, it's because of the O-line more so than anything else. But yeah, who the fuck is he throwing to? It's
Yeah.
Juju, Hollywood,
Tyquan
Kels,
Thornton.
Tyquan Thornton.
Well, all I got to say about that is this. There is a certain wide receiver in Miami who's been very vocal about wanting to get out of Miami. And, he did play in Kansas City and got a Super Bowl, Kansas, what I'm saying? Is that I'm not insinuating nothing. This is just something that I'm throwing out there. You know what I mean?
I don't think Kansas City has the capital to. I mean, they're gonna ask for at least a first round, a second round, or two second rounds, and a player possibly. So it's like they're not gonna trade Rice or Worthy, and Hollywood is an approved deal.
Yeah.
So
I say, look, you take these 2 second-round picks, and you take one of these motherfuckers on defense that they're not. Hell, I got even better one. Y'all take these 2 seconds and you take Jawan Taylor. Give me Tyreek back.
not unless he fakes a retirement and then signs 6 weeks later and sue the fuck out of his ass. Like, I don't know how Sterling got out of that New York, because I think he sat like a year and a half and was like, yeah, I want to play. My guy Baker's over there. I know how to play with him. Yeah.
Damn
So
shame.
I don't know. I don't know. Right now, Kansas City seems to always go through points where we're like, what the fuck is going on? Then like
Right.
4 or 5 weeks later, Kansas City. So we'll see. We'll see.
Next up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who have started off the Cincinnati Bengals have started off, got up to a good. They were getting off to a good start. They started off 2-0, but they lose Joe Burrow for 3 months with a turf toe injury, or it's something with his toe. That means Jake Browning will be in. Joe Burrow is going to be out for, they said, a minimum of 3 months, which brings it to mid-December. I'm going to take this one first. First and foremost, Joe Burrow, wishing you a healthy recovery. But all you analysts and y'all pros and breaking this shit down, I kind of hope now this whole situation, this will get y'all off this bandwagon of picking the Bengals to go back to the Super Bowl every year. You can't go. You ain't gonna get to the Super Bowl if you can't protect your goddamn quarterback. Y'all invested y'all invested all that money in Chase and Higgins, and rightfully so. Chase, Higgins, and Burrow all deserve their money, but how the hell how they gonna get the ball if you ain't got a motherfucker to get them the ball? I mean, don't get me wrong, Jamar Chase is getting his, but that said, I
So
keep this in mind. Joe Burrow is only 28. This is the third time since he's been
I
in
was
the
going to
league
say that. Yeah,
that
fuck
he's
you.
missed
Yeah.
more than half the season because of a serious injury. That's
Hmm.
not good. That's not good.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. And it kind of makes you wonder, do y'all give a fuck? Honestly, Joe needs to do a Tom Burrow and defer money. So you'll be getting checks for 15 years after you stop playing from the same organization. Defer that money, Joe. Defer that money because I don't think Chase or Higgins is gonna do it. So defer that money, brother. Like, yeah, defer that money, get your offensive line, make it a couple pieces on defense, make a couple key pieces in the secondary, hopefully. Definitely up front. You need somebody to help out. What's his name? Hutchison? No. Hickerson.
Hendrickson, Trey Hendrickson.
Hendrickson. Yeah, so yeah, I gotta figure something out on both sides of the ball. Like all this cheap ass spending these teams they're doing, it doesn't equate into winning. Like you look at teams like the Eagles, they pull that checkbook out and won, or
Yeah.
the Rams a couple years ago pull that checkbook out and won.
They beat
Like you gotta,
y'all. I'm saying they beat y'all.
yeah. So it's like like Detroit. I mean, shit. If people stay healthy, they probably win it all last year.
Yeah.
But like, I mean. That Micah effect is crazy, but hearing about those disc problems in his back, I'm like, man, Jerry is a lot smarter than we give him credit for.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, I do now. One more question about the Joe Burrow situation. My question. Here's my question. If the Bengals fall out of playoff contention by the time Joe Burrow is healthy enough to come back, do you even risk putting him back out there to start him, or do you just sit him the rest of the season? But once again, this is if you do that, this is the third time he's missed pretty much the whole season.
I'm sitting him, but knowing him, he's gonna persist so much, he's gonna find a way on the field.
That's what I think. That's
That
what I think
so
ended up happening.
that's what I think is gonna end up happening too. So they got a tough schedule too. So we'll see.
Speaking of Detroit and the Chicago Bears, I mean, we saw what happened with we saw what the Detroit Lions did. I mean, it don't look like they lost a beat without Ben Johnson, but um it's not gotten off to a great start for Ben Johnson in Chicago. I mean, he blew a lead against the Minnesota Vikings in week 1 to a technically rookie quarterback. And then they go up to Detroit and pretty much get the sleeves beat off of them. And I felt that game was kind of personal. I felt that game was kind of personal. I think that was Dan Campbell's way of saying, "Yeah, motherfucker, we don't need you." But uh, you know, uh,
You don't think I don't know? You don't think I'm not gonna know what you're trying to do?
right. Speaking of Ben Johnson, I mean, Caleb Williams has not like I said, it's gotten up to a rough start, but Caleb Williams is on, I think he hasn't passed for more than 220 yards his first 2 starts, and Chicago has jumped out to an 0-2 start. Now, with all the investments they've made into making Caleb, probably trying to make Caleb one of the most comfortable QBs in the NFL, getting them, they got him some pieces on the offensive line, they got him some weapons to throw to, and it seemed like he's still just not figuring it out. I mean, what are you making of this whole situation in Chicago?
It's, I mean, we talked about this last year. It's probably going to be bad about year three.
Yeah.
So, because they haven't drafted enough pieces to have a decent offensive line yet. So, what's the number one thing we've been seeing since Justin Fields was there? A quarterback doing what?
Running for his fucking life.
Running for his fucking life. And Caleb Williams, keep them hamstrings warm, because that's what you're gonna be doing this year, brother. And then there are some throws with Caleb, and I feel like it's his mechanics at this point. Because he tries to do a lot of shit off his side foot, his back foot on the run. He never really plants his feet. And every time, even when he's on the run, I've been watching him since he was at Oklahoma, really since Gonzaga High School. When he plants his feet on the run and throws, it's always accurate. He's stuck, I feel like, in the Superman aspect to where he wants to make every throw, he has to make every play. It's like, bro, you're not in college no more.
Yeah.
Some of them throws you was making in college will never be there because the players are just that good. They read defenses or offense is that good. So you have to adapt and understand the style of play that the NFL is, and then that's how you can be successful. On top of, your offensive line being terrible. Everybody else is good. He got the running backs, he got a tight end, he got a wide receiver. Just that offensive line is garbage. It's terrible. So I just don't know. I mean, honestly, it's gonna take another year. Not unless they make it. Maybe if you seen a midseason trade for offensive tackle or some shit. When did you see that? So yeah, it's they got a better offensive line, bro. Like it's because they. I mean, shit. Well, the defense can't stop shit either. So
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned this early in the season. I think it's going to take another year. I think it's going to take another year for Chicago to really, get to where they're trying to go with this team. I mean, the Detroit game was very after what I saw in the Minnesota game. I had no confidence in Chicago going into Detroit, and that's even with Ben Johnson not being there. I mean, we saw that even with all them damn weapons they got. I think they're going to find a way to be successful. But as far as Chicago, I mean, Caleb, but you're not in college no more. You're still trying to do the same shit you was doing at USC with these off balance, off platform ass throws, and it's not working. I mean, you had when they played Minnesota, he had DJ Moore wide open for a touchdown, overthrew him. Then yesterday, he rolled out to the right and just kind of threw a ball into a sea of
triple
defend
coverage.
and like triple coverage into and it got picked off. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You're trying to do a little too much. I get it. I get it. You're pretty much you're supposed to be the franchise guy, and you got a lot riding on this. But dog, you gotta get it out your mind that you are not in college playing for Lincoln Riley and at USC anymore. This is the NFL. That shit that you're not gonna make it off just pure talent. You're not. You're not. So, and this like once again, this is not a Caleb Williams bashing video. This is just I said they got to get it figured out, man. They got to get it figured out and quickly. With as much as they've invested into this team and into Caleb, the Bears and Caleb Williams, they got to get this shit figured out quickly. Otherwise, it's not going to be a pretty end to the season.
It's different being an offensive play caller and being the head coach.
Yes, it is.
It's different. Not unless you became the head coach of a team you already was coaching on.
Yeah,
Then that's your only advantage. Now you have to you building your own culture now.
yeah.
It's different.
Now going back to the Packers and the Cowboys and the Michael Parsons trade. So I mean, we ain't really had a chance to talk about it, but the Cowboys did trade Michael Parsons for two first round picks and Kenny Clark. And so far, it's honestly really worked out in the Packers' favor. I mean, Micah is wreaking havoc on whatever side of the ball he's on. He has a second half through the first two games. Green Bay's defense looked pretty stout. They are flying off the ball. They are 2-0 as opposed to the Cowboys being 1-1. But I mean, so far, how do you think it's worked? I mean, I know it's still early in the season, bro, but what are you making of it on both? What are you making of that trade on from both sides?
Well, obviously, right now, Green Bay looks like wow, that was the one trade we needed. Now all of a sudden they look like the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah,
And then now you got Dallas having to have overtime battles week 2
with the Giants.
with the Giants, a team got to play again. So, but this is my only thing about it though. Um, and it's been like that last 2 years. Micah gets off to an incredible start. And then by like week 8,
He starts to disappear.
where is he? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? And it's the back shit. He has a slip disc in his back. He has to get an epidural shot before every single game, which the damage that's causing in his back is insane. That's insane. That's insane. So yeah, I mean, that's my main that's my main focal point this NFL season outside my Chiefs is seeing how well Michael Parsons holds up. Because Jerry is banking on Micah deteriorating and not being there later on in the season.
yeah,
That's what Jerry is banking on. That's why Jerry was cool letting him go. Jerry was willing to give him, I think, 40 million a year. I think Micah wanted like 45, 47, and Jerry wasn't budging.
yeah.
Similar with the Emmitt Smith shit, with the America's team and the gambling. The documentary about the Cowboys on
Right.
Netflix is very good.
It's a very good documentary.
Fuck the Cowboys though, but it's very, very good. Very good documentary. But that's where we at. That's where we at with it right now. Um, Green Bay has a roster of wide receivers that's really good, and a quarterback that's figuring it out, and a defense that looks like the best defense in football. We'll see if Micah can hold up, keep that pass rush on that ass on the week 3.
I think for Dallas, it kind of sucks for Dallas because I mean that offense looked like they can compete with just about any fucking body. I mean, this is
It's every year.
yeah. I mean, it is every year. I mean, Dak is that Dak's looking like he's looking like the Dak before before he got hurt. CD's being CD. What's in there? Javonte Williams. He looks like a great fit in that Dallas backfield. I mean, don't get me wrong. It hasn't necessarily hurt Dallas's defense, but losing Micah definitely didn't help. I mean, they ain't had that front seven. They don't look as good as they did with Micah. I'll say that much. As far as Green Bay, I mean, like I said, that's a pretty with Micah. They're looking like a really stout defense, and if they can continue, they can figure out a way to continue to carry this over, and Micah can stay healthy throughout the course of the season. They are going to pose a lot of problems for teams come late December and into January.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, I like with the way, and then hopefully Jordan Love can stay healthy because with the way he's looked the last couple of weeks, I don't know, man. Jordan, he looked like he's finally got this thing figured out, man.
That he does. That he does. I mean, what is his fourth, fifth year of the same offense?
Yeah, fifth.
Yeah.
Third year starting in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He knows what he needs to do. Shout out my boy Josh Jacobs, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fuck you, Bob Stoops. No, I'm playing. I love you, Bob, but you dropped the ball with that one.
All right, so before we get out of here, man, we get to do our week 3 picks with man. We didn't get to do this shit in a minute. I'm looking forward to this. All right, so Ryan, rapid fire week 3 picks. I'm gonna call out the game, the teams that are playing, and you tell me who you think is gonna win right off the top of your head.
All right.
Let's do it. All right, first up, Steelers and Patriots. Steelers for me as well, obviously. Rams and Eagles.
Fuck yeah. Eagles. Man, that was a tough pick for you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Packers and Browns. Packers, with no hesitation. Colts and Titans.
Oh shit. Let me get Titans. My boy Cam and Cam. My boy Cam Ward. Yeah.
I'll take the Colts and Danny Dimes. I think they keep rolling.
That's fair. I'm just trying to shake.
No. Yeah, you good. Jets and Bucks.
It's for the Bucks. Justin Fields is out. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Give me the Bucks and
bro.
And old shake and bake because he's been baking the first couple games.
Stop playing with him. Stop it.
Y'all see it. Y'all see it.
Stop it.
Next up, Raiders and Commanders.
Shit, Raiders. They fuck around and still lose. They will fuck around and still lose. But I'll go Raiders.
I'm gonna take the Commanders in that one.
Jaden, he got a knee injury, bro.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm still picking."
I'm still picking them. All right. Next up, Falcons and Panthers.
Ooh, Falcons.
I'm gonna take the Panthers in that one.
Honestly, yeah, bro. That second half, Bryce came alive, man.
I'll take the Panthers in that one.
How do you get an onside kick and not capitalize off that? I just
you saw it.
Offensive line, terrible.
Bengals and Vikings.
Vikings.
I'll take the Vikings as well. Jags and Texans.
Texans. They got a more complete team, and Chubb is running out of his mind.
I will take the Jags because I'm not too. I don't like what I'm seeing out of the Texans first couple games of the season. This next one, this is a good one. Chargers and Broncos.
Chargers. They're the best team in the AFC West right now.
I'm definitely taking the Chargers, especially with them being at home. Saints and Seahawks.
I guess Seahawks got an experienced quarterback. And they just lost to an injured 49ers team. Half that team was out and they still won.
Yeah. I'll take the Seahawks on that one.
And it's the second year in a row, them injuries.
Yeah, it's been longer than that, bro. They got a problem with the training staff over there. They have to because this been a common thing with the 49ers.
Niggas train too hard. Like, oh, you first year in the SEC.
All right. Cardinals and 49ers. I called that one already, didn't I? Oh yeah, well, Cardinals and 49ers.
Cards.
I would take the Cardinals as well.
That team seems together. It's just if Kyler was 6'2".
Yeah, with the same athleticism. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
Cowboys and Bears.
CeeDee Lamb.
I'll take the Cowboys. I know you ain't want to say it.
Yeah.
Now this last one, it may not be the Super Bowl matchup, but this is a good one. Lions versus the Ravens.
Ooh, Ravens.
I would take the Ravens in this.
We were so close to them buses, black Super Bowls, nigga.
Yeah, no, I'd take the Ravens in that one. That's gonna be a good one. And they in Baltimore too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, man, if you made it this far in the episode, please like, share, subscribe. Give us any type of constructive criticism. Just know nothing a little too crazy. Football is back in full swing, and we are excited to see what this season will behold of us. Well, for us, or however the
fuck. Motherfucking yeah.
2 more weeks. Oh, well, we got 2 or 3 more weeks.
This week, next week.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready. Hey, also before they get Texas fans, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear none of that. Well, Archie ain't no. I don't want to hear none of that shit because the last couple times y'all beat us, the last like 3 years, it's been with Oklahoma's backup quarterback. So whatever your fucking excuse, the last 2 to 3 years that y'all beat us, it's been with a backup QB. So whatever your excuses are, save it. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it.
Bitch.
Plain and simple.
Bitch. Bro, nigga, Texas got that monster ass defensive line. Nigga, the motherfucker. 350 and more. All them motherfuckers. Big corn, hog molly, pig eating motherfuckers. Corn husker looking motherfuckers.
Yeah,
potato and steak every day looking motherfuckers.
Yeah, but I will say I really do like the way Oklahoma's offensive line has been looking. So, like I said,
they are stopping people. I was just watching that Michigan game. I was like, damn, he got time to pass. He running a bit too much though, but he got time to pass and all that shit, nigga. Damn. It's just I'm not trying to get caught up, man. I'm not trying to get caught up in it, man. I might have some reflection in December if it goes right. But but yeah.
But as always, man, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and make sure you tune in week out. You never know what you might hear on this podcast. Right?
Bitch.
But as always, I love you, brother. Until next time, man.
Love you too, man.